Welcome to Two Hypnotherapists Talking with me, Denise, Billen, Mejia, in Delaware, USA.
And me, Martin Furber, in Preston, UK.
This weekly podcast is for anyone and everyone who'd like to know more about the fascinating subject of hypnosis and the benefits it offers.
I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and psychotherapist.
I'm a retired medical doctor turned consulting hypnotist.
We are Two Hypnotherapists Talking.
So let's get on with the episode.
Hello, sir. How are you? I know, it's amazing, isn't it? We don't seem to have talked to as many people as we usually do. But...
No, and I'm good, but it's been a bit of a journey, this series, and our regular and very loyal, lovely people who follow us will have realised that we've had a couple of little mini breaks, which we've never done before. We're sort of, we've both been dealing with the unexpected, haven't we?
We have indeed. Although some of my unexpected is a bit expected. I've reached that age, when things start to go wrong sometimes.
21.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm the other end. But so I wound up in the hospital briefly, very briefly, but with a succession of outpatient appointments to keep, and that really messed about my schedule. And you were very accommodating. Thank you.
I was, but I was coping with unexpected eventualities myself. And then when you think about the time difference we have between us as well, it's like now it's the end of my day. I've had my evening meal. It's the end of my day.
I'm thinking about lunch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're thinking about lunch, yeah. So there's always that thing as well. So yeah, we can apologise, but we did miss a couple of episodes out. We had to leave space in between a couple of episodes, rather, while we coped with the unexpected. And it got me thinking about how far ahead do we plan and cope with unexpected things? Because we all have to, don't we, as people?
Yes. And that's, of course, why we haven't as many guests, because all our guests had unexpected things happen. A lot of people enthusiastically said, yes, I'd love to, send me a date, and then had to say, oh, sorry, such and such came up. Most of it good, but still.
Yeah, and
it's still upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about quite a few things this series, and I'm thinking about things we can do in the next series and guests we can have in the next series.
Back. Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to have a few in the bag before we open up the new one. But
I think so.
It should be in October, mid-October, and it should go to Christmas. I think that'll give us 12 weeks, won't it?
I'm not sure.
No, we'll count through. We'll make sure we've got 12 weeks left of the year.
So what else have you been in? What's changed in your routine and in your life then? That you had to readjust to?
Going to physical therapy every morning, 3 days a week. Went to it today, unusually, because she wants to follow up with something we did yesterday. So I don't go tomorrow. I went today instead, which was lovely. And it's a lovely, cheerful place. It's mostly people my age, some very young people who clearly got sports injuries and things like that.
Right,
a lot of people my age who've got things that aren't working quite as well as they used to. It's a very happy place.
Sounds it. Just to clarify though, because you say physical therapy, is that the same as physiotherapy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify sort of thing for over here, because I know we slightly different terminology. Over here, although I've never been for physiotherapy, my other half has, and it's very hands-off what they do these days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very hands-off, more sort of demonstrative of what you need to do for yourself.
Oh, I see.
And giving people big rubber bands and things to flex the knees with.
Lots of big rubber bands. I haven't had to use them, but I've seen them being handed out. But no, it's a really nice, let's call it a studio, why not? It's got mirrors. It feels like a studio. They're very nice, and they also have a program that once you come off the sick list, if you want to go in there rather than go to a regular gym, you can go there. I'm going to investigate that, because it's a regular gym, just feels very competitive.
Yeah.
And I just want to walk around in circles, because that's what I'm here for, walking around in circles. So
are there,
examine that with them.
So presumably even in the gym, though, there is somebody there, a member of staff. Are they clinically trained or?
Yeah, the head woman is a physiatrist. She's a physical therapist.
Right, okay.
With additional qualifications. And then she's got people who are in training who work with her, so she'll explain what she wants done. And it's very nice. There's some people who've been working there for years, some who I met very briefly, a young woman who's goes in, I guess, a couple of times a week, and she's happened to be at my spot, who's in training to be a physiatrist. So
okay, right.
Good.
I mean,
good exercise, but I'm a bit tired now.
Yeah, okay, well, that's allowed. That's allowed. But it's like we were talking before we came on air, weren't we, about coping with the unexpected or preparing for the unexpected. And of course, it comes back to that old friend of ours, resilience, doesn't it? That ability to bounce back from something. Because, and I was having this conversation today with somebody else, you know, life chucks lemons at us. Things happen that we don't expect all the time. And
you can't plan for everything.
No, you can't plan for every eventuality. And of course, if we have already built up some resilience, we will bounce back from it far quicker, won't we?
Absolutely.
We can deal with what's thrown at us. I had a particularly stressful day the other day. And in the moment, I was very, very stressed out. But by the next morning, everything resolved and, you know, bounced back from it immediately. And I think if that had happened 10 years ago, before I was a therapist, it might have affected my mood, as in put me in a low mood for the best part of a week.
I was just thinking while you were saying that, I'm not saying everybody has to be sunny about everything that happens. No. You just know it's not probably going to be life altering, really, in the grand scheme of things, and to give yourself space to be upset about it or even annoyed.
But it's also, I think it's being able to deal with that one issue and not let everything else suddenly overwhelm you. And I think that's the thing, because we both talk, don't we, about that metaphorical stress bucket. And I think if there's a lot floating around in there all the time, it can take only one large item that is stress causing. To make it overflow. So as I say, I was dealing with something particularly stressful the other day. I dealt with it, and then the next day I felt as right as rain, back to my usual sunny self. And you know, you've sort of bounced back from and dealt with everything you've been dealing with really quickly, haven't you?
Yeah, relatively quickly, I think. Yeah, and it's nice. It's also nice to have this other person that I can probably go to and get some more. You know, I'll eventually, when I graduate, I'll be given a list of suggested things to continue doing to improve things, which is really nice.
Like a self-maintenance program.
Yeah. And I'm gradually getting more clients that are coming from unexpected places. People who've been on this program who've recommended me to friends and family of theirs, which is nice. It's especially nice to get recommended by another professional in the same business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really nice.
Absolutely. But I'm just thinking about memories and thoughts. Okay, well, we're talking loosely hypnosis today on this one. Yesterday, 9/11.
I know.
Everybody remembers where they were, don't they?
Yes.
You know, when we talk about those neural connections, it's an instant one, isn't it?
I was still working then. I mean, as a doctor.
I was going to the dentist that day. But it's like the old JFK thing, isn't it? Everybody remembers where they were. Really? Oh, I wasn't born then.
Well, you won't remember very much then. I was 9 and my Aunt Sandra was babysitting us. My parents had gone out to the movies and we were watching TV when they announced that he was, and I remember telling her, please remember, I was 9 at the time. I remember telling her, but he wasn't going to be president much longer. Because he was like 3 years into his 4 years. And also, of course, with relatives in New York, quite a few stories from where they were when what happened when and how the skyline has changed. It certainly has.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were rather prominent, weren't they, to say the least? The Twin Towers, that's why they went for them, I imagine. Biggest impact.
I would imagine too, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How big were they compared to the Empire State Building?
How what?
How big
they were taller.
Were they?
Much taller.
Yeah.
Empire State's only 33 stories, I think.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, that's not nothing. It was at one point, it was the tallest, but it hasn't been the tallest for a long time.
I've not heard it mentioned for years in any context, as it were. You hear of Trump Tower getting mentions and things. I've not heard
that's for a lot of different reasons.
For a lot of different reasons, yeah.
Let's get a bit more hypnotic, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
So, since people couldn't listen to us last week, and now they're listening and wondering what earth we're talking about now, do we have any plans for next season? Has anybody said yes, they'd love to come and join us?
Not as yet, no.
Okay. Have we asked anybody?
Well, I was thinking we should invite some guests back, because it's been almost 3 years we've been doing this now. And I think it would be good to bring back. We did have Jason back on, didn't we? Our very first guest ever came back on. But I think we should invite some of the other ones, catch up, find out where they're up to, find out what's going on in their hypno world. Because I can see, I mean, obviously we talk to people anyway, but I can see looking at social media, certain people are really expanding in their niche and making a huge difference. Dr. Sue Peacock springs to mind.
I was thinking the same thing, yeah.
I think that would be great to catch up with her and find out what is going on, because she was so passionate about pain relief, wasn't she?
Yes.
In fact, I'm talking about chronic pain and mental health in my next week's newspaper column. That's what I was writing this morning.
How many are you writing these days?
5.
Because you're in 5 completely different.
5 completely different newspapers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just they're in the counties surrounding you, I assume.
Yeah, they're all in Lancashire, Yorkshire and Cheshire.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So what did you say this topic is?
Chronic pain and mental health. So explaining more how somebody experiencing long-term chronic pain can, how it can affect their mental health. For example, if we can't do something we could do before, we can start to get depressed about it or experience low mood.
And it can go the other way too. The pain is always worse when you're...
Yeah, but what I was actually talking about was watching out for danger signs in people of things like skin picking and trichotillomania, because when we have chronic pain, as we know, and acute pain will cancel it out. And this is why people can develop those habits of starting to pick at a scab, and it'll grow and grow. I'm talking about older people particularly, who have a scab on the hand and they can't understand why it's growing and growing.
Yeah.
Because
you're doing it yourself.
Because they're picking at it. Yeah, but because...
I hadn't thought of trichotillomania. I've seen that as a stress response in teenagers, but I haven't seen... Have you had clients who've had that as well?
I've seen it in the research I was doing for the project, the mental health for older people, and that's why I've mentioned it, because again, people might start to pick out their eyelashes or their eyebrows, because of course we're getting that little endorphin hit as we do it, and acute pain will cancel out the chronic pain in the moment.
Yes. Don't complain about slamming your finger in the door, kick something else instead. So I was writing about that, and again, it's something that usually piques people's interest, because when we think of a physical pain, we don't think of the mind, do we? But of course, that's where it all registers. What we do need to do, what I need to do certainly, is to get to the page that is the landing page for this show and get caught up on that. That's seriously out of date.
I think we should go and get some new glamorous photographs done of ourselves, Denise.
Well, good luck with that. I don't think I'll get my hair done tomorrow. See what I can manage.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't have that problem. Although I did tune my days for the occasion.
Oh, good. All right.
All right. So we've got things to look forward to in the next series. It's been a little bit patchy, this one, not for lack of trying, not for lack of wanting to do it, but just circumstances.
And remember, if there's something that if there's anybody listening wants a particular issue addressed, please write to us and tell us. And our contact information is in the show notes below.
Absolutely. So, Denise, I will see you on Series 7. Can you believe it's Series 7?
Yeah, I'm feeling really old. Thanks for reminding me.
You're not as old as Joan Collins. And she's still working. She's still working.
There you go. All right.
Catch you on the next one, Denise.
Okay, dear. Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed listening. Please remember, this podcast is designed to give you an insight into therapeutic hypnosis and is for educational purposes only. So remember, consult with your own healthcare professional if you think something you've heard may apply to you or a loved one.
If you found this episode useful, you can apply for free continuing professional development or CME credits using the link provided in the show notes. Feel free to contact either of us through the links in the show notes. Join us again next week.